is up, everybody? This is Recap Rewind. I'm JLAG.
And I'm NB.
And we are recapping and reviewing Riverdale Season 3, Episode 1.
And it's called Labor Day because we are in Labor Day.
We're in Labor Day.
And it's effing hot right now.
And it's really warm.
Feels like summer.
Yeah, I feel like I need a fan just like everybody else needed a fan in Riverdale.
We were able to sit outside and watch the episode. So take that in. We were totally in the vibes of like the Riverdale premiere. Guys, it's season 3.
Guys, season 3 is here. I'm
like,
so excited to break it down with you guys. We miss you guys so much. Like, you don't understand.
Like, my soul has been far away, and now it is returned to me.
Yeah.
But for Archie, no. Archie, you're a dumbass. Okay, you're a dumbass. Like, let me
spoiler
say
alert
that right
you're
now.
An idiot. Yeah, how was your summer, girl?
Girl, it was good. I mean, I saw you every day, so I can't even say that I missed you, but
I definitely missed the rewinders.
No,
for
I missed
sure.
my Riverdale fam. Like, everyone was getting so effing lit. Like, we did Riverdale rewatch like during the summer, so like I was like, okay, it's coming back, cool, whatever. But honestly, guys, within the last like 2 weeks, it came by so quickly.
Yeah.
Like, everyone was like shook. Everyone's like, what? Like, Riverdale's back?
I can't believe it's already back today. Yeah.
I'm like, like.
So excited.
Crazy. We have a lot of stuff planned for you guys throughout the season, but for sure this episode is going to be jam-packed. So be patient because we're going to get you guys so excited.
This is going to be a super extra special but extra long episode. I hope you guys stick through it all. And
a lot of stuff happened.
Yeah, lot of things happened.
But also, first and foremost, don't forget, I love you guys. We love you guys.
We love you.
Recap roundups are at the end of the episode. Our best moments, our best lines. God help us. I could not figure out an MVP because everyone was a loser this episode. But stick around for that. We have some exciting Sabrina Chilling Adventures news for you guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
So stick around for the end of the episode because we're going to go through that as well. And like, guys, we're here now. This is Riverdale.
And I always say at the beginning of every episode, thank you guys for coming back. If you guys are new, returning listeners, and thank you so much for everyone who has come through and subscribed to our channel, guys. Just a couple of weeks ago, not even a week, a couple of weeks ago, a week ago, we got to our 1,000 subscriber goal, which I wanted to do before the episode aired today. So I'm beyond happy.
Yeah.
Me and NB have been like over
it's been crazy.
The moon about everything. So thank you guys so much for coming
and
through.
We
and
honestly
listening.
See you guys like fam. Like, we see you guys like tweets, your comments on our videos. Like, we're like, this is our family.
Yeah, you guys
like,
are just engaged.
These are our, like,
and
fam.
Like, I
what are we
literally
gonna do? We need
want
a house
to
party,
make
like,
this
together.
my life. And
Thanksgiving.
So exciting. So exciting. And also, we have some great news going on all of our channels. We hit over 1,400 followers on Instagram, and that's because we did an amazing tourney over the past month to kind of get everybody ready for Riverdale, and it was a ship tourney. We're now at the finale. It's going to be announced next week, and we're going to be dropping a music video probably with a lot of footage from this week as well.
Guys.
And
it's Varchi and Bughead in the finals. Who would have thunk it? I thought it was gonna be like Koos and maybe like.
I thought Shoni would have been like the dark horse in there. Honestly,
definitely, we definitely thought Shoni would be like up in there somewhere. But it is Varchi and Bughead in the finals. So please, guys, go to our Instagram, vote your hearts away because like it's gonna be done soon.
1 vote per person, please, guys.
Don't be spamming.
You have to understand that I have to go through every single vote. So please do not do that. If you guys are listening, please vote, but don't vote like a psycho.
But also like exciting summer. Like, guys, this summer was filled with Riverdale stuff. Like, first and foremost, flashback episode, which is what we always wanted. Right. Like, in my Soul of Souls and your Soul of Souls. Yeah. We always wanted a flashback episode, and we find out that like the kids are gonna play the adults. Michael Consuelos is playing Hiram Daddy. So like, there's just so much happening right now in this world. Like, I'm looking at JLAG's face. He's like, I'm gonna pass out. This is crazy.
Comic-Con was amazing. We got a lot of answers. So as NB mentioned, we got the flashback episode answer. As she mentioned as well, Michael Consuelos playing young Hiram in the flashback episode 2 is a big reveal.
I'm so excited for that. I'm so excited for that.
And that's coming what episode? Episode 8, I think?
I want to say 7 or 8. 7 or 8. It's pretty early
4?
on.
I don't remember.
I don't know if it's that early, but it's pretty early on. Wait, no, it's not 8 because Lily Reinhart just said they were doing 8 right now.
Oh, okay. So maybe you're right. Maybe it is 4.
I think it is
maybe
4.
It is 4. So that's not too far away from now. So I really want to know. We can maybe talk about it a bit later, or maybe next episode. But I definitely want to know what part that's going to play in the larger scheme of
how
things.
it's all going to connect for sure. Yeah, or maybe it doesn't. Maybe it's just a flashback episode, and we just see the like origin stories of the parents, like whatever. But also. And I'm about to say the real.
Go for it.
Like, yo, this girl's gotta like spill her heart out.
I'm so excited.
First of all, Charmilla.
Wait,
where?
Wait,
what? Where did this come from? Where does it come from, though? Guys, literally the whole weekend, our feed was like I don't know
what's happening.
Everything was Charmilla. I was like, where did this even come from? But
and
then
by Charmilla we mean
Camila Mendes and Charles Melton.
Yes.
And I was reading all these like posts, and they're like, guys, how did we not know that they were a couple? Like, and they showed all these pictures of them like kind of like cuddling, holding hands. And I'm like, yeah, you guys are all like, where were you guys, man? Come on. Where was the information?
Were you excited about this situation? Look, first and foremost, I mean, it's Charles Melton.
I can't have Reggie, and I will never have Reggie because he's a fictional character.
Never say never.
But if Sis is gonna go get that, like, I'm okay with that.
In the real.
And honestly, after watching this episode between him and KJ, like, whatever these guys did during the summer, like, I can't even process the ab sweat.
Who's feeding you?
So I'm like, girl, if you're gonna go like that, like, Go. Take it and go. Like, run with it. Like, I'm happy for you.
Wash
like,
your
you
clothes
need that right
on
now.
Those abs.
100%. Like,
for real.
Cause Reggie and KJ this episode was like next level. Yeah. Like JLAG was like, yo, like
I was like,
no,
like pool
but that's
party,
huge news. Like, that's the second Riverdale couple that we have like in real life.
Yeah.
So it's really.
Do you
like,
feel like it's
news.
gonna be a big situation? Do you feel like this means that eventually we're gonna get what we were predicting, which is a veggie storyline?
Definitely, and we talked about this offline too, right? Like, I definitely think that this season is definitely gonna be about Veronica and Reggie. So I feel, and I was asking JLAG too, I'm like, how does it happen? Like do they make out in like on the set and they're like, oh, like we clicked, like should we fuck on like in real life? Like, how does it happen? Like, because there must have been season 1 and 2. First of all, season 1 he wasn't even in the show. It was Ross Butler. But then season 2 he came in. They rarely had any scenes together. But I'm sure when you have those scenes together and you're constantly on set together, something clicks. Like I'm sure in the beginning there's an attraction, and then like plus you're spending like time together, so it's like.
And also they're both like effing hot, so like why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
So.
And like they seem very goofy and very, very like playful, and she seems like a very laid back person, and so does he. So like I can totally see it happening.
Into it.
Totally.
So into it.
Totally cute.
Totally cute.
So moving on from Charmeezy's.
Yeah. What else do you want to talk about?
Let's talk about a little bit about what we can expect for this season.
Sure.
So I think a big chunk of like what we were like thinking was, you know, how are we going to see these characters in the season? And we both watched the Build series, and Lily Reinhart says like, goodbye to Dark Betty.
Yes.
And I was really shocked at that.
R.I.P.
Like, I
Dark
really
Betty,
was.
literally.
Not that I really cared to see Dark Betty again, but it was like her confirming. She was no. She's like, I told Roberto, like, I'm done with that girl.
I'm not wearing that wig. It's uncomfortable. Yeah.
And there was a trailer, her saying kind of goodbye.
She literally steps over like a dead body version of Dark Betty.
But more so, I think it was interesting because it was almost like hearing the cast or the actors themselves having some sort of control over these characters and their outcomes. And Lily Reinhart saying like, look, like I think Dark Betty started out as like this, you know, second person to the regular Betty and her depression and her anxiety and her darkness. But then it became really sexual. Like, why was she wearing this wig? Why was she wearing the lingerie? Like, it became very campy. And so I respected it that, like, she was like, no, like, I don't feel like this character is really, it's not making sense anymore for season 3. So we're not going to see that Dark Betty anymore in season 3. Like, that's done. Because
to your point, I mean, she does mention the fact that it's not it's making something very serious like mental health issues a little bit of a joke, or it's making it a little too campy, and for them to strip the wig off of her head but still give her the anxieties and give her, you know, the self-harm, because I think they're going to explore that again this season, as she mentioned in an interview. I think it's just going to go back to that, and I know a lot of fans had definitely called out the writers and how the show was going and kind of playing off this darkness and this depression as a bit of a joke. So I'm glad that she stepped forward and said, no, I really don't want this either, and she changed the character. So it's really cool that you're right. It's really cool that they have a bit of control over what characters
happens. Yeah, for sure. And I think another big thing too is JLAG. We were talking about it too. Like she even asked, and I think KJ even asked Roberto. Like she was like, "There's not going to be any supernatural shit in this season or in this show in general."
Yes, yeah.
And right away he was like, "No, like we're not doing that." And so this was our worry too. Like really, like as we were recapping the show over the last 2 years, like definitely our worry was like, how far is this show going to get with like the mystical shit? Like save it for Sabrina, leave it all in Greendale. We get that like there's going to be some like mystical shit, but for now, just keep it that.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, I'm just really looking forward to seeing, you know, we do see the Gargoyle King at the end of this episode, or at least a drawing of him. And we do see like the actual stick figure. Yeah. And we didn't really know what to expect from this season because of that. Yeah, we see the Gargoyle King at the end of this episode. So it's really interesting to see how far they're going to really push that whole storyline. And yeah, I don't know if anybody wants Riverdale to really go full out supernatural, and we were really worried about how that was going to play out. But yeah, we have Sabrina now, which airs at the end of the month, and we're also going to be covering that. So yeah, I'm really excited to see how dark they make it, how weird, and you know, I feel like there is some weird thing happening in this season.
It was funny because like when we were watching it, the last 2 minutes my stomach felt weird. Like it wasn't the wine. It was no, I'm kidding. I felt very weird. And then I remember Lily, like in the interview, she was like, guys, the last 2 minutes of that premiere, she's like it's gonna make you yak. Like it's so creepy.
Makes you feel very
uneasy. And then I was like, oh my God, this is what she was talking about. Like it felt like the show was like Dawson's Creek. And then it like totally flipped
to like Stranger Things.
Yeah, totally. Like it like totally shifted. So I get what she was talking about. I can't wait to like, you know, dive into the episode. Let's get right into it.
So let's do it.
Because if you guys didn't like this part, now we're doing a recap. So
okay, so now you can check in if you really want to check in.
Right now.
So it starts right off just like we were expecting with Jughead's narration. And he's just talking about like, if you wanted to have a great summer, everybody did something different. He's like, sometimes you're working, and then it shows
collecting those pennies.
It shows Veronica working at Pops because she now owns it. Now that's all she's got.
Is it because she owns it or because she's like not a rich bitch anymore?
A little bit of both, I think. Okay. You know, she's not taking her daddy's money anymore, but she also wants to make sure that Pops doesn't fail, because if it fails, she owns it. Yeah, she owns the deed.
She owns the whole diner?
Hell yeah.
Or I thought she owns the speakeasy.
She owns the diner, and she wanted to make a speakeasy.
She owned the whole building?
She wanted to make a speakeasy underneath it, so that's the whole plan.
Okay, yeah, so
she's working as a waitress, which is like a throwback to season 1 where
Hermione was working.
Mommy, you're like, it's like a full circle. It's like you're working beach now.
By the way, I love your Southside Serpent shirt.
It is so cute. I got it for my girl NBEA. Yeah, we're gonna work on like having this on cam so you can actually see this stuff. I'm like, believe me, I'm wearing a Southside Serpent shirt.
You don't want to see where we are right now, though.
Yeah, that's true. And then it cuts to Betty talking, or not Betty talking, but she's also working. Yeah. But she's working in like the lawyer office. She's an intern at the lawyer's office, working for Mary.
Yes.
On Archie's case. Yes. And I'm like, no wonder he didn't get out of jail. Like, you have like a 16-year-old girl figuring out a case for you.
Which was really cool, because I remember like tuning out and I was like, yo, Betty is so effing smart. Forget the journalistic career. Like, girl, go to law. Go to law. Totally. And someone was like, yo, homie, she's going to be an intern in law right now. I'm like, okay, I didn't know that, but that's cool.
Yeah, for sure.
So she's doing that.
So then it showed, and then he's like, oh, you spend your days in court supporting your friend who's going to jail for a murder he didn't commit. Why do you make him
sound like a 1600 English professor?
Because he is. Jughead is a 1600-year-old writer. So it shows him and everybody basically in court with Archie, and it's like the South. Like, if we thought this was on the East Coast, it's not the East Coast.
First
it's
of all,
like,
I don't
it's
believe
like
that.
Alabama
I
in
don't
the 1960s.
believe that because no, this doesn't make any freaking geographical sense. Because later in the episode, Jughead says the trees over there lead right to Montreal. Bitch, Montreal is cold as hell. It is colder than here in Toronto. Why are you guys sweating like pigs in court? That shit should have AC on.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
It was very like southern, like To Kill a Mockingbird vibes, and I was like, this doesn't really make sense, but I'm gonna go with it because it's Riverdale. Yeah, whatever, sure. I don't care.
And yeah, Veronica's like fanning herself. She's like, ooh. Because she's thirsty. And
I was just gonna say, was she fanning herself because she's horny or because she's like hot?
Yeah, she's hot and hot at the same time.
Yeah.
And then it shows a DA. So this is the DA that we got, we were told is going to be like the next level DA who's going to try to take him down. And she does kind of make a good case.
She doesn't do anything. They're like, there was no evidence. She's like, true.
Well, she's like, yeah. But she does mention like all the bad things that Archie did last season. So season 2, it was basically like a recap rewind of season, like all of the things that Archie did.
Like, looks at me. He's like, so they're just gonna recap us within the episode?
Yeah, they had it previously on, and then they also did a recap of all of Archie's wrongdoings in the episode. Yeah. So it shows him creating the dark circle and the red circle.
Yeah.
And what else? Oh yeah, shoving a gun in Sweet Pea's face.
Yeah.
I don't know how that came
like,
up.
Who told her that information? Like, Sweet Pea, did you rat on your boy? Because like that's pretty tight.
I was like, someone needs to come for him. Yeah. Now. And then
like Josie, correct your man.
And then they say like he was just like a sketch bag essentially. And then Mary, who is acting as Archie's lawyer.
Like, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think your mom can be your
conflict of interest.
Yeah, I don't think your mom can be your lawyer.
I think she could. You can defend yourself. Like, you can be your own lawyer.
You can defend yourself, but I don't know if your like relative can. I don't know.
No,
I'm not a lawyer.
It's probably possible. It probably just looks weird to the court. I think I'd be like, as
maybe.
a jury person, be like, your mom's protecting you? Like, that's weird. So, like, it's just a weird situation. Like, it feels a little biased. So she's like, but he's a good kid. He helps his friends. He punched his hand through ice, like literally got so specific.
I literally yacked when they showed that scene. I'm like, why you gotta bring me back to season 1, episode 10?
Yeah,
I don't remember.
It got very, very like extra with
but
like
it was
the
cute.
details.
Like, it showed like the contrast of like, you know, all the negative shit that he did, and he was major extra in season 2, but he did some really good things too.
Like, he like solved 2 murders.
It's definitely putting Archie's character on trial, and like, fine, whatever, I'll buy it.
And also, like, her bottom line is like, y'all, you don't have any evidence that my boy was there, so get out of here.
Or that he shot the gun, or that he owned the gun. Like, nothing.
There's nothing on Archie right now that he has that's solid evidence that pins him at all. So I think that's the one thing that I'd be like, this case is a complete toss-out. Why is Archie in jail right now? It doesn't make any sense. Okay, so then it cuts to outside the courtroom, and then we get Josie saying like her one line of the entire episode, and she's like, Mommy, what are the odds that this is gonna actually go down? He's gonna go to jail. And Sierra's like, probably like 50-50. I'm like, thanks, Sierra McCoy. You literally, no wonder nobody hired you.
Yeah, I'm like, I was your biggest freaking fan last season that your name was Sierra. And then you're just like, 50-50, darling. I don't know anything. Goodbye. she just closed shop and like left. I was like, what?
Ain't nobody paying you, first of all. Anyway, that was kind of random. And everybody's like, where's Archie? And then I'm like, yeah, true. Like, isn't he like in
he's
jail?
Locked up.
But no, he gets to like go as far as like sitting on the stairs.
Yeah, he was just like brooding.
And he's brooding. And so he has this vision of them kind of like swimming, right?
Yeah. No. He pictures them like swimming. This was actually really effing sad.
Really sad.
So he pictures them like swimming in this like disgusting hole of ghetto-ness. And then he's like swimming with them, whatever. And then like they like dip. So like he sees like Veronica, Betty, and Jughead like their backs turned to him, and they're like walking away, and he's just like still swimming, and he's just like, he's not really calling out to them, but like he's just like booking that like they're gonna leave him behind.
Yeah.
And it was so sad. It really was sad. It was a sad moment, actually, sure. I'm like, that's actually so sad.
It is depressing. I mean, like that's his only fear right now.
That's his biggest fear.
Leaving, like being abandoned, being left behind.
not like being called guilty, not like being wrong for the like, you know, tried for the wrong thing. Like it's just like my friends are gonna move on without me.
Right. So then he's like, okay, well, like we should go sometime, maybe. I think he even says,
and then like they find him. They're like, hey.
They find him, and then they're like, what were you thinking about? You seem like you were like lost in thought.
He's like, hey, remember that like leech pool? Veronica, you've never been there before though.
Yeah, because it's been 2 seasons and I still haven't taken you there. So cool. So she's like, I want to go, please.
Thank God I didn't went there before.
And then they're like, okay, obviously Casey Cott / Kevin Keller comes in at the right moment because he's the gossip queen of the world. And he's like, guys, they're going to call the
judge has called us in now. We gotta go.
So then he goes inside, and the judge obviously, like, because the episode needs to be like elongated another 40 minutes, is like, okay, well, guys, we're going to figure this out by the end of the weekend.
I need to go to my cottage this weekend. So I'm going to postpone this trial for the long weekend. Go have fun.
Enjoy yourself. And he looks at Archie and he says, my advice to you is to spend time with your fam, because like you could be going to jail soon. And he's like, true.
Real talk.
Yeah. Then it shows everybody leaving the court, and Hiram passes by Archie and Fred.
Oh my God.
And Hiram turns to Archie and he says, hey Archie, have a good weekend. And Fred loses his mind.
Don't look at me like that.
Mind and punches Hiram.
Yeah, but it was like a wind-up punch. It was like boom.
Yeah, he was like boom. So that must have been.
And then Hermione was like, "No, my boy, stop fighting over me."
It was like the UFC fight all over again.
Guys, JLAG watched the UFC fight.
I watched it through Mark Consuelos's Instagram. Like, that's how I watched it. So then it cuts to Pop's diner, and he, like, everyone's just kind of sitting around, and they're like, my life is shit.
Yeah, Archie's like, I'm fucked, guys. I'm gonna be in jail.
Hey, TTYL, y'all. I'm done. I'm out of here. And everyone wants to help figure out this case for him. They're like, we can go to like the place, we can try to figure out this evidence. And he's like, honestly, guys, for what? Like, I honestly just want to enjoy these last 2 days.
And he was right?
Yeah.
Like, he's like, what am I gonna do for the next 2 days? Like, freaking go and like do work. Like, let's just go have fun. Let's go like chill.
Let's get lit.
And then it's the end of the summer.
Yeah, and then Veronica's like, well, what do you want to do? And in that moment, it's like, pew, 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 pew. And Cheryl walks in.
I look at Jillian, I'm like, what's going on? He's like, it's Cheryl.
So of course she like kicks the door down as she does, and she's wearing like the shortest shorts. 8-inch heels. Like shortest shorts. She's wearing a bra and her leather side serpent jacket. Which
I'm like, first of all, bitch, it's freaking 45 degrees outside. Why are you wearing a leather jacket? Like, I'm hot just watching you guys.
It's so ridiculous. But she walks in. She does look amazing, but she walks up and she's like, hey guys. She does her like little sassy moment, and she's like, I know that some people might be walking the Green Mile later today, like this week, but let's have a party. I'm gonna have a little pool party at my place. Let's hang out.
Which is so exciting, BTWs, because we said, we're like, yo, if this girl gets Thorncliffe with her Nana, she better get some like parties up in there. Like,
where was Nana, first of all? I wish
she was leaving them alone. Like, what is she gonna do on the party floor? Like, she's probably upstairs like reading a book.
Like jumping
but
off a chandelier.
Sick. Like, she's like, go honey, go throw a party. Like,
Enjoy
that's
yourself.
pretty lit for a grandmother to do.
Live your best life.
Yeah.
So then it cuts to, so that's the end of that part, and then it's like Riverdale.
Yeah.
And then it cuts to the next scene.
Riverdale's here. Season 3.
And then it shows Betty, the Cooper residence, and she's about to leave for school, or she's about to just dip from home because she's trying to like avoid.
She doesn't want to be at home anymore. Yeah. Like, daddy's done. He's in jail. He's a serial killer. Like, and mommy's crazy.
So Alice and Polly are chilling in the kitchen, and they see her like trying to sneak out. They're like, "Hey, Betty, you want some oolong tea over here?"
Was Polly even there?
Yeah, Polly was there.
God, creeps.
And you can tell like she's just trying to avoid them because she thinks they're weirdos. And she asks her, Alice asks like, are you going to therapy with Dr. Glass? She's like, no, I'm just going to go visit Archie. And so we're assuming, number one, that there's a Dr. Glass that she's going to see for therapy. Therapist. Which I was like, down for.
I was so lit for this, guys. Like, you don't understand. Like, I was so lit. I was like, this girl needs therapy. Yes.
ASAP Rocky.
Trauma that she's been in. She needs to go see a doctor. I'm so happy for her. Sick.
But anyway, we talk about it way later. So she's like, no, go away. And then she talks about Edgar. So this is the first time we also hear about an Edgar from the farm. And that is, I guess, the cult leader or this farm leader, which we haven't seen just yet. But Alice keeps being like, Edgar this and Edgar that and Edgar
I
like
love
that.
Edgar's D.
Yeah, basically. And, not Veronica, Betty's just doing like perpetual eye rolls to her mom because she doesn't want to deal with it.
Yeah.
She don't want to deal with it. She wants to stuff all her sadness into a box and like walk away, which is what she does. She walks away. She's like, weirdos. And then she goes to see Archie and she's helping with the
car.
Jalopy. Is that what it's called?
I have no idea.
Is that the name of the car? Guys, I don't know cars.
Let's just say we don't know cars.
Yeah. So,
but she is helping.
She's helping.
And like,
she's
JLAG, I know you saw me say that.
You done said it. You done shared it.
Don't beat me out right now.
I don't care.
Guys, I got so excited. I was like, oh my god, a Barchi
it's
moment.
A Barchi moment.
Barchi moment.
Let's not lie. Well, here's the thing, right?
There was nothing happened.
The funny thing is you mentioned Barchi moment, and then he's like, Betty, take care of my father when I go to jail. And I'm like, where's your girlfriend? Isn't this something that you would talk to your girlfriend about? Why would you ask your I mean, I get it's your neighbor. You've known each other for years and years. But
it's true. Like, why would you look at her? Why would you look at her and say, yo, take care of my dad? Like, where's your girlfriend? Yeah, that's your girlfriend's job to do that. Not your best friend.
Yeah.
Like, maybe, but not really.
Yeah, exactly. So, they're helping the car. And she's like, honestly, don't worry about it. We're going to be fine. But it was just a weird moment. And like he even says like, Archie's like, we finished the car just in time. Like, bro, you don't have cancer. Like you're still alive. So sad, yeah. But he's like so thing. And then Fred like leaves. He's like, sorry,
he's like, give me 1 minute.
There's something in my eyeball. Like obviously he's emotional. It doesn't show like, freaking Dylan McCain crying, but that's fine. And then it cuts to the lodge residence. And Veronica's like, doesn't waste any time. She goes right in on her dad, who's just having breakfast always at that table, like at all times.
By the way, he looks so tan.
Yeah, tan.
Like he went on a nice vacation.
I hope he had a good summer. So then he's like, she's like, your Iago attempt is not gonna work. So I assume that was like a Aladdin reference, but I'm not really sure.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm like, that's a little
too early in the episode to like hear what you're saying.
She's like, it's your fault. You set this all in motion. You have to change this situation. You have to change the outcome. And he keeps saying like it's beyond my control. Obviously it isn't his control, but he doesn't want to do anything about it. So he's like, he
refuses like 10 times over.
Sorry, girl. Sorry, girl. And she's like, please, like she's begging at this point, like don't let him go to jail. And he's like, it's out of my control. Sorry. And so she gives up. Then it cuts to Fangs, Jughead, and Sweet Pea. It might as well have been a slow motion moment, but it wasn't.
My God.
This is the
if you could resurrect Jesus Christ, it would be Fangs. Because this boy like came back to life. Yeah.
Oh, true.
And like he had nothing on his stomach, like sweat dripping. I like sweat because like he was sweaty. I'm like, Sweet Pea was covered up, Jughead was covered up, but he was like out and about, and I was like, this episode was hot.
Fangs was looking really, really good.
You know what I mean?
And so Jughead, yes, I do. So Jughead turns to both of them, and he was like, shirtless Fangs and Sweet Pea with a neck tattoo.
He's like, what do I do here?
He's like, can you please do some recon? I don't really know what he was saying necessarily, but he was like, can you just do some recon on the south side? Yeah, I was way too distracted. I was like, this is recon what? I was like, abs, huh?
Recap recon? What?
Yeah, I wasn't really sure. And then it cuts to like a scene where FP is putting a fake tattoo on Archie in the same time.
Was it fake or was it real?
It's a fake one. He was literally painting it on him.
He said it was fake.
Yeah. Okay. So he's like, this will protect you while you're in jail if you go to jail. The part that like really annoyed me was like, did they think that painting a tattoo on him was going to stay on him the whole time? like, I'm not really
But why
sure.
did it melt away by the end of the episode?
No, but he's going to jail for like 2 years.
That's
or
what
whatever.
I mean. Like, I thought that he actually tattooed it on him.
No, but I didn't hear like a zzz,
no,
like
but
I didn't hear that.
I think the idea is that like he did tattoo him.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, let us know what you guys.
Then because like it would freaking melt off. Like it's so effing hot apparently south of the border from Montreal that like
it'll definitely melt away.
Like, do you know how cold Montreal is, guys? No, you don't. If you don't know.
Anyway, so he's got a fake tattoo, and he's like, okay, so that's the whole picture that we keep seeing of like Archie with this like Southside Serpent tattoo. He doesn't really join it. It's for his protection. Then it cuts to Betty and Alice at home, and Alice is like rummaging through some shit, and then Betty's like, "What are you doing, Mom?" And she's like, "I'm just going through your diaries."
Your diaries. You're like 18,000 diaries.
And then she's like, why? And she's like, I think you should burn all these diaries. It's a lot of darkness, a lot of pain. And Edgar keeps saying, she's like, I can't with you and Edgar, like, and this farm and
in
this
all
craziness.
fairness, Alice was a little right.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I think that her advice was pretty sound. I think holding on to that negativity and holding on to that. Anyway, everybody has their own journey, but I think that she was in her right as a mother who wants to just protect her daughter, to say, listen, you have some effed up things that happen to you. You don't need to hold on to it. Maybe time to move on. Burn the books. Maybe you'll feel a little bit better. And then she was like, get out of my face. And that's it. She like leaves.
Yeah.
And as she's leaving, Polly's like, Mama, like from the corner of the house, she's like, there's something that you have to know about Betty. And then you're like, but
bitch, what? What do you know about your sister? You weren't even here. You were in San Francisco.
So they all go to the party. So then it cuts to the party.
Yeah.
And we get a really quick scene from basically everyone.
Like, guys,
little quick updates from all the tertiary characters.
If you know like our podcast, you know that I freaking love party moments. Like I love when they're not killing people.
Yeah, episode 10.
They're not when they're not like freaking, you know, like this is like a chill vibe right here.
Summertime.
And like Cheryl throws a sick ass party and everyone is just, you know, vibing like Sweet Pea and Josie.
Yes, so that's the first thing that we see. So we find out that they have been like doing stuff.
Apparently they've been like smushing all summer,
fondling,
like sick.
Yeah. And Josie's like, listen, it was fun and all, but I'm going to refocus my music career as soon as school starts. So she's that's
like,
fine.
You know, I can't be making out with you when I'm Beyonce.
But then he's like, but it ain't the end of summer yet. And then he just makes out.
They were actually really cute together.
What do you think of that?
No,
surprise
I actually liked it.
Grouping?
I'm down. I'm down for it.
Yeah,
I liked it.
What is that? Sweet C?
No, it's like
Joe P.
Swolzy.
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 True. Hashtag Swolzy. I guess that makes sense. It's a lot less confusing than what I choose.
But no, I like them. I like them together.
Then we cut to the most waste characters of the entire episode. Not even Casey. Kevin Keller and Moose. Guys.
I looked at JLAG and I'm like, what did they just say? And JLAG was like, I don't know. Like, that was so weird.
I shook my head probably 7 times and I wrote down notes because I was like, I can't even talk about this now.
So
I'm going to talk about it right now.
First of all, they're reading. Like, they're at a motherfucking house party and they're reading.
So I'm like, so the writers turned them into those gays. Like, why did you do that?
But they're like, why?
You're at a party.
Why are you reading?
Why can't you guys get lit? Since when does Moose read anything past a alphabet book?
Porno.
Like he's an idiot. Even in the comics. Like he's not known to be like a smarty pants, but they're sitting there drinking, like wearing their shirts and
fine. Let's say fine. They're reading. Cool.
I can't.
And then Kevin turns to Moose and he's like, you know what? He's like, I want to lose my virginity, like, real quick.
He's like, maybe we can do it. So
wait.
It's like, before Halloween.
Like,
wink. And
like
Moose is
junior
like,
year,
okay.
But before Halloween. And Moose is like, huh? He's like, I already fucked like 10 girls. But like,
yeah.
I didn't understand it at all. I was like, Kevin, what?
That's the part that really confused me. First of all, don't lie to me and act as if you're like not sexually active because you had an entire episode.
You were in Fox Forest.
Yeah.
Fox Forest.
You were in Fox Forest.
you
were doing God knows what up in there. You're telling me that you didn't. Anyway, I don't want to get into the details of it.
Maybe he didn't.
I just thought it was such a stupid thing to say.
Like
in
the
that
fact
moment.
that he turned, like everyone else was getting lit. Everyone else is like having fun. He turns to him after we just saw this really intense kiss from last season where like Moose finally came out and said like, no, I do like you.
Yeah.
His first effing comment is going to be, you better fuck me before Halloween. like
why?
Really, guys? Really?
Like I
don't know honestly, why Kevin's storyline bothers me so much. But
I
like,
do.
It's like, yeah, I get why it bothers you, but like it's really pathetic. Like it really is
the saddest storyline I could ever ask for a character.
Like A, they're reading at a party. B, he turns and says this. Like, bro, like say something else. And then Moose doesn't even see. Like, you know what, Kevin, you're right. We should. He's just like, like doesn't give a shit. Like. And it doesn't make sense.
And guys, when I say that's the only interaction they have the entire episode, that's it.
Except from Kevin being like, the judge is calling you guys, calm down. Like that's it.
If you guys just wanted press pictures, just take press pictures of the party. I didn't need to see the scene. I did not need to see the scene. It was so pointless. Yeah. I'm actually really disappointed in the writers in this specifically, and I want to know why they went this way. And I always feel like,
and I don't know if you agree with me, but like I always feel like it's just one dialogue like sentence away from being okay. Like even if he said I want to fuck before Halloween, like, and Moose was like, don't worry, I got you, like it would have been like cute, like okay, like they're gonna like, you know, he didn't even say that. He was like whatever, like
I don't know,
it felt like I don't know.
Comment below and let us know what you guys thought about that scene, because I was livid. So then it cuts to Archie and Reggie, our boys without no clothes on. And guys, it was first of all, Archie was not wearing a shirt basically 90% of this episode, so I was feeling
whatever KJ Appa did, like please do it for me right now in front of me, because that boy, holy ish, like the sweat, there was like mountains.
There's like leg years
and his abs.
Yeah, and then you got your mans,
and then Charles,
you got your mans.
I was like, Camilla, don't want it happen right here in this moment.
So they have a really quick like bro moment.
It was so cute.
They're like throwing the football around, and Archie's like, hey bro, like no more dark circles and no more red circles, okay? He's like, got you, bro.
Take care of this team from me.
He's like, don't worry, I got you, fam. And then he's like, hey, sick tat. He's like, cool, thanks, bye. Like such a red.
It was so cute though. It was like, so douchey.
Don't jump into the pool because it's gonna rub right off. Like it's so stupid. Then we get our girl Cheryl and Titi.
JLAG died. JLAG died.
I was like, why is she saying TT so many times? It's so weird. I know she said it last season for like.
First of all, like, homegirl took out her grandma's couch, her fucking velvet couch, brought it out to the pool floor, put it in front, and was like sitting with her girlfriend on this velvet couch.
Like no one else is chilling.
It made me even hotter.
So. And then on top of that, she's crying. I'm like, girl, there's a pool right in front of you. Just jump in it and just enjoy your life. She's like depressed. She's like so sad. And TT's like, girl, what's wrong? What's wrong? I'm going to try to go. TT. Yeah, I'm going to try to go through it and just say TT instead of Tony. And she says, what's wrong? Are you okay? Why are you so sad? And Cheryl says, honestly, that moment when he like punched the water and like tried to get me out was a really dark moment for me in season 1. And like, I didn't know you back then.
So I was wondering why she was crying actually. And then I looked at Jay, like he's like, no, he saved her.
He saved her life. Yeah. Like he saved her from like really dying. Yeah. And she was going through a really dark time. And she's like, there's nothing that I can do to help him. Yeah. And I think that's the one thing that we love about Cheryl as a character. You know, like she came into the Pop's diner and was like, I know you're walking the Green Mile, but like let's get lit. But this is the moment where she has like a real moment with herself and realizes that she cares about her friends. She just wants what's best for them, and it's just a sad moment for her to realize that he's going to jail, you know. Potentially.
It was. And I think it really like puts into perspective that like who Archie is as a man. You know, he really did save, he's saved a lot lot of people along the way. He really has. 100%
for sure. And like TT's just like, they're there. Like
she's like, you want to go upstairs?
Currently, like she's an LVP right now. Like she's like, well, what was she doing this episode? She was just like, it okay. And then it cuts to Veronica and Betty, and they're talking at the pool party.
Yeah, because Veronica was like, and then Betty's like, what's wrong? And then Veronica was like, wow, my boyfriend's going to jail. And like that whole conversation started basically.
Exactly. And she's like, I feel like I need to talk to the court and like let them know the tea on my dad, because like they'll change their minds if I just talk to them. And suddenly out of nowhere, Josie's like, I might be able to help you with that. And then she's
like, Mommy says they're staying in the hotel.
They're sequestered in 5 seasons.
Guys, just have fun. It's a party.
Yeah, but I mean, like everybody's like so sad about it.
Everyone's stressed.
And then she's like, let's get a hung jury. Let's get hung juries.
Stop. I know you're going to go there. I know you're going to go there.
Like, if I get a hung jury, then we can
she wants to get Charles hung. That's for sure.
Ooh. So then it cuts to Jughead, and he's like just chilling like in the corner with his like wife beater on because he doesn't.
He was the most level-headed person in this whole episode.
Yeah, for sure. And he sees Dilton in the like far back corner, and like the music changes, and Dilton's just like awkwardly staring at him, and then at that moment Fangs runs in and he's like, yo, like this is crazy, something's crazy that's happening. And like Jughead's like, what's going on?
Yeah,
he's like,
so
Hot Dog got kidnapped. And you're like, the dog Hot Dog got kidnapped?
I looked at JLAG, I'm like, wait,
the dog?
Like the dog? Like right now?
So,
during this like lit party?
I'm like, I didn't understand what was happening. And also he's like, yeah, we saw the dog and he looked like really skinny. Doesn't look like they're feeding him. Like, does that mean that Hot Dog's been missing for like an X amount of time? Like, I don't understand what he was saying by that. Like, he's like, oh, it must have happened when we were going through the riots. I'm like, so your dog has been missing for the entire summer and you just like what, thought he was dead? Like, you didn't
like what
look
happened
for
to him?
You're just like, oh, you found him. He's there with all the freaking like ghoulies.
Yeah.
So they're like, okay, we need to rescue him. And Betty's like, I'm coming with you. And he's like, no, it's too dangerous. And she's like, I am a serpent queen. And the serpent queen is a warrior queen. And I'm going to be there for y'all, huh?
And like, he was like, oh.
he's like, okay, I'm turned on.
She's
Let's
coming.
do it.
Bring her car seat.
Yeah. So she wants to tag along to this whole rescue mission. What did you think about this as a story device in this freaking episode?
You know what I was going to say? I freaking loved that whole crew. Like Cheryl, Jughead, Betty, Tony, Titi, Sweet Pea. Yeah. Like I love them all together, working together.
Yeah.
But for Hot Dog, like look,
I love my dog.
I love my dog. I will die for my dog. But like, I just didn't understand why like they were doing this for Hot Dog in the season premiere when they were all getting lit at a party. Like I didn't understand that connection at all.
Yeah. But fine, sure.
I'll buy it.
If he gets you
like,
guys
I'm
out
buying
to the
everything
south
at this
side,
point. I'm buying Archie in a bow tie at court. Like I'm buying everything at this point.
So then it cuts to Archie at home, speaking of, and he walks in and hears Mary and Fred talking at the table, and they're just regretting all the decisions that they made. They're like, you know, she says, if I didn't move to Cleveland, like maybe none of this would have happened.
She's like, I should have done Pretty in Pink. Like it totally ruined my career. Like Ash.
And Fred's like, don't worry, I did 90210 and then I just came out of nowhere.
He's like, I fucked like 30 girls. Like, I'm still good. Like, don't worry, I got our family. Like, it's on lock.
He's like, don't worry, I effed Hermione, and that's really what effed this whole thing up. Like, real talk. Like, that's why Hiram hates us so much. And Archie overhears them, walks in, and he's like, honestly, guys, it's not either of your faults. You guys are the best parents I could have. It was a really touching moment, actually. I'm like, this moment
turned me on so much. I was like, Archie, you are such a man.
You're such a man.
He's such a man because, you know, he's still a kid and he walks in and he's like, guys, stop fighting over me. Yeah. This is totally my fault.
Yeah.
I could have prevented it, you know. And that's it.
He fully takes the blame for it.
He takes the blame for it.
He says, you guys are the best parents anyone can ever ask for. And he's like, I deserve what's coming for me. And he's like, no. They say, like, no, it's not your fault. And we'll always love you. And they have, like, a really cute. Like, it was parent moment. And then it cuts to Veronica at the hotel. And she's like, housekeeping.
Hola.
Trying to get in, break into the freaking thing. It was such a
stupid plan.
And Sheriff Minetta obviously books her in like 2.2 seconds. And then it cuts to Veronica and Hermione at the sheriff's station. And they have a little.
She's like, Dios mío, how had it?
She's literally like, ay, Dios mío, why you do that to me?
Yeah, I got so real.
So she got really cheesed about that whole situation. And Veronica's like, yo, I need to do this. Like, my man.
She's like, this is my man. Yeah. If he leaves, like, who am I gonna fuck for 6 months?
That's not her only concern, but yeah, sure. Like,
whatever.
She's just really upset about that whole situation.
She's cheese. It's her boyfriend. Obviously, she cares about him. Like, you know, she's trying to do everything she can, and she knows her dad's behind it. That's the thing.
Yeah, and so she kind of goes in on Hiram in that moment, and Hermione says, "Listen, you know that he." he says something along the lines of like, you're the daughter of Hiram Lodge. He'll never hurt you, but he might hurt me.
Yeah.
Like that.
What did you think about that?
I mean, for one, I was like, so
it gave me chills.
It gave me chills because I think that last episode, last season, with that whole thing happening to Hermione and Veronica, the guy coming after them, like small fry or big fry, whatever, coming in for him, coming in for them. I think that really shook her and made her realize like, he's not here to protect me. He doesn't care about me for realsies. And like, he might protect you because you're his daughter, but like, I'm just his wife, and like, he could give a F about me. So like, I just want to make sure that you're protected. So don't push your boundaries. Like, chill on this moment, because I'm sorry what you're going through, but like, you can't do this right now.
I mean, it was the first time that Hermione really admitted to herself even that like, she's not Hiram's priority. She's not what Hiram cares about. Yeah. She's a casualty. Like, that's a big thing to admit, like, as a wife. Like, here we thought she was a boss ass bitch last season, and like, now she's saying that like, I'm just a collateral. Like, he could kill me tomorrow, and like, he just wants you alive. Like that's big.
That's tight.
Yeah,
that's tight.
It's tight.
Then it cuts to the south side, and Jughead is kind of like doing this like super sleuth thing. He's like, guys, you stay in this corner and just be ready. I'm gonna go and grab the dog, because the dog was just like whimpering and, like in the middle of the field. And so he goes toward it, and sure enough, like, all the floodlights go on, and all of the ghoulies are like out and about, being led by Penny, who is not wearing a bra. And she
I didn't think you were gonna go there,
but she ain't. So she comes through, and she's like, hey bro, I knew that you'd come in for your doggy, like, we're gonna come kill you now. Like, here's the thing,
like, it was so dumb.
It was such a dumb moment.
Hey, I almost killed you last season, so now I got your dog to basically almost kill you this time.
One more time.
Like, what?
Why are we back here again?
Have more work to do? Like, I don't understand.
Go push your drugs and be done with it. So he's like, listen, get out of my way. I'm just gonna take my dog. Let's move on. Like, you're a biatch. I hate you. And she's like, okay, well, if you want to die, then kill him. And then out of nowhere, Cheryl like shoots an arrow.
Yeah, she's like a freaking sniper
at
now.
The man's, and she's like a good ass sniper.
She's a good ass shot.
Yeah, she's got a good shot. And she's like, okay, it's time to die. Like, you're gonna die now. Like, I think she said something about like taking his jacket, which I was like, yeah. So this turned into like, you wanted to kill him
because she's like, you're no longer part of the south side. Right. Now you're like in the north side. So like, I can take your jacket now. Right.
And she's like, and you're like biatch, like ponytail girlfriend, like is like the north side queen. Yeah. Like, you guys need a GTFO. And then Cheryl shoots the arrow, and then like hell's about to break loose because Jughead is trying to control her, because at the end of the day, he's still the Serpent King.
He's the king.
And like, she's like off her rocker because she just like joined, and she didn't even have to do anything to get initiated, so she has no idea of the rules. And she shoots, and then he's like, Cheryl, stop it right now. And then they're about to attack, and then he's like, aim your arrow at like Penny's like forehead. And he's like, okay, if you want this to happen, let's do it, but you're gonna be dead in 2 seconds. Like,
bitch, step off.
Or like, let me take my dog and like, we can peace out. And she was like, this is over. Now we can step onto your territory. Like, we're gonna F you up. Like,
it was so stupid.
Guys, so I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about this.
I honestly really want to know what our fans think about this, because I was very like,
why
this
is
feels
this
so forced. Guys, they're fighting over a fucking dog. like, just take that in right now.
It's all an instigation, right? It's all a means to get to the south side, and like, so she can start a war, which is stupid.
Like, kidnap TT, kidnap Cheryl. I don't know. Do something more.
They did that one time.
They did the first time.
And they almost killed him. So like, it's weird that like they just stole a dog.
Yeah.
like
anyway. You guys look more weak, if anything.
Yeah. So anyway, they leave, and like, you obviously see that like Penny's gonna become a large like gang leader role in this entire season. What do you think of that?
She needs to wear a bra.
I'm down for like free the nipple, like hashtag.
But it wasn't all up in the same perimeter level, so she needs.
Stop. So then it cuts to Archie, and he's having a dream, and he's like, so he's having a dream,
and it wasn't a.
It wasn't a wet dream. He was running through the forest and he's stopping Casey. He's pulling off the thing and he actually sees himself shoot him.
Yeah. And there's like blood
on his hands. Then he sees blood on his hands and then he turns around. He sees his friends and he's like, guys. And then he wakes up, I guess, right?
It was really sad.
And so he's having a fever dream, but obviously it like has to cut to him waking up and he's like dripping in like sweat all over his abs.
Sweat down his abs. Like, again, I was like, NBEA, wake up. I was like, oh, I got lost.
Pay attention. And then it cuts to the next morning and Jughead and FP are chilling in the trailer and FP mentions like Dilton's been like crazy looking for you.
Dilton's on fire. Like he should have been an MVP.
Yeah. And he's like, are you good? Like new Serpent King? Like is everything good? He's like, actually no, like Penny is like about to attack us again. She stole my dog. He's like Cheryl's off her rocker. Like I can't control anybody. Like this is just a mess right now. So a teenager.
Penny's not wearing a bra. What do I do?
A teenager running a gang, was it a great idea? Absolutely not. But let's just go with it. Let's go with the
why don't you do this job?
I know, like freaking suddenly out of nowhere,
FP's
like drawing fake tattoos on people with glasses
he's just
on.
Sitting there. He's not even fucking Alice. Like do something.
Do something. Like he literally retired and like just left. Like he's not even working at Pops anymore. Like I don't understand what's happening. FP, go at least go get welfare. Like I don't understand. So then you hear like the jalopy like being honked. It's like, and then he like leaves. And then it cuts to the Cooper residence and she gets approached by her mom and her sister. And they say the Adderall prescription has been like filled. And like, what's your situation? She's like, there is no Dr. Glass. So it turns out that Betty was lying about having a therapist in the first place.
Which is fucked up.
Which is pretty messed up.
Yeah. Which totally I get.
Absolutely.
But also the fact that they throw like Adderall around this conversation, like I was dead.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I guess because I'm just we're not in that generation. I think it's a really big issue for sure. But it just sounded funny to me. I don't know.
Yeah.
She's like, Mom, you got me on Adderall. Now I'm on Adderall, and I don't know what to do with the Adderall. like it was just like, so she's been too much Adderall.
So it turns out that she's been filling up her own prescriptions of Adderall with like a fake doctor who nobody checked in on. Like I don't understand. And like, why did Polly? How is she the super sleuth that figured that out? I have no idea.
Go to San Francisco. Like what are you doing?
I don't understand. So they're like, it's funny because Betty doesn't really, she's like, you're freaking out on me, like what's going on with you? And Betty and Alice is like, listen, you're the one that's got an issue, you're the one that's like bearing this all deep inside of you and you don't want to deal with it. Like even Polly has like a 2-second moment where she's like, you know, we've been trying to deal with this is the first time that you've even mentioned Dad this whole summertime, and it just doesn't make any sense why you're just chilling and thinking that everything's okay. And so she hears like the honk because she's like saved by the jalopy, and they head to Sweetwater Sewers because that's literally what it looked like. It was so gross. So then there was like a song that plays like Young Love, like it's like that one song, I forgot what it is. Girl, I want it, girl, I need it. Shazam it, like, you know what, using my voice,
that
guys.
Song, I actually wasn't feeling it.
Yeah,
because they hyped up the scene so much with the jalopy and them like naked and KJ and the sweat and the abs. And then I was like, I'm like, I don't really feel this song.
Yeah,
though. Like,
it's kind of random.
Yeah, it was like, cause I need it, cause I want it, I want it right now. And I was like, I'm not.
Yeah, it was a weird moment.
And then they jumped to like this freaking sewer black water, and then like they're both making out like 2 centimeters apart. I was like, this is really weird. Like I'm not feeling that. There's like graffiti on the walls. Yeah. Like in the promos, it looked like this really romantic spot with like the forest and like cute water, and like.
But this was like really gross.
It looked like some like urban like dive swamp.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's not.
I'm like,
not,
you guys
not
just
hot
got
at all.
Weird diseases.
Yeah, y'all better wash up right now.
And the one, like, this is a stupid small little thing, but like they had a chance and opportunity to wear their bathing suits, but instead they decide to wear their underwear and bras. Like you literally
like looks at me. He's like, why wouldn't they wear their like freaking bathing suits?
Like they literally got picked up. It's not like they did this as an impromptu moment. Like they knew they were going to this watering hole. I don't understand why they're wearing their underwear and just jumping in. Anyway,
I digress.
And it cuts to the fireplace, the campfire, which we saw the promo pictures for.
Second.
And Archie has like a really quick like speech, and he's like, "This was the best last day of summer," and everyone's sad. Like everyone's crying. Betty's crying. Like Jughead's like pretty sad about it. And everyone's like, you don't deserve going to jail. Like, it's not you. It's not your fault. And Archie's basically beating up on himself. And he's like, if I hadn't walked away, like, he might have been alive. Like, maybe I didn't do it, but like, I could have done something more to help it. And he's like, he basically says, if I didn't kill anyone, but I could have, because he was like reckless AF last season. He was, if you don't remember. He was an idiot, yeah. He was a total moron. Yeah. So I guess like what he says makes sense, and like him beating himself up makes sense too. But yeah, you didn't kill him. So like, why do you think you're going to go to jail for that? Like, it doesn't make any sense. He's just in a dark place. So then it cuts to Jughead and Betty chilling by the fire by themselves, and she's basically like, I guess I gotta stop eating Adderall. Like, she literally. She's
like, so when you met me, I was on Adderall, and now I'm on Adderall, and then I was on Adderall, and then we got Adderall. He's like, cool, just get off it. She's like, yeah, I'm off it Adderall now.
He's like, we're gonna get through this, girl. But I'm like, I also asked NBEA at that moment, like, the entire summer you didn't realize that your girlfriend was on Adderall?
Like taking it to your girlfriend for real though, like.
Like, get her off those drugs. I don't get it. And then he like takes his hat off and he puts it on her head, and we're like, please don't wear that hat again.
Like, yeah, take it off right now.
Like, the wig looks better. Does not suit her at all. That's tight. Then it cuts to Varchi and they're fucking Avi. Like, just like. It's just like cut to Varchi having sex.
JLAG are like, wait, where are they? Like, they made a next fire so they could fucking burn in the fire. Like,
I'm like, where did Jughead and Betty go? Like, why is there
two fires in like 10 centimeters?
So yeah, they basically have sex.
Yeah,
and
obviously. Like, again, sweat abs on his ass.
Yeah, I literally wrote abs on abs on abs on abs. So that was kind of hot. And then he says to her, like, while they're like in the afterglow,
it was cute.
He's like, cute. I don't want you to visit me while I'm in jail. It's like a really shitty place to be. And she's like, what you talking about, boy? I'm gonna be like visiting you all the time.
She's like, what? I was Mayfield's mob wife. I'm gonna come with my nails done and my hair done and my pie done, and I'm gonna bring you food. Like, she was all for it.
And he's like, that's what I mean. I don't want you to be there. And then she says, like, honestly, Archie, you're not breaking up with me, you idiot. Yeah, like, get out of here.
Yeah. She's like, you are not gonna break up with me right now.
He's literally like feeling so down on himself. Yeah. So he does say one thing that was like really, really sad too. He just had like sad moments.
No, this one made me like almost cry.
He's like, it's not that I'm afraid of getting shivved. It's that I'm afraid of like the fact that I won't be able to graduate.
With you guys.
I'm like,
with you guys.
Yeah, with you guys.
Because like he wants to grab
yeah. So anyway, really so then they have their little moment of whatever, and then the next morning it shows Archie getting ready, and they're like, okay, it's time to go to court, and Jughead is also getting ready at his place, and Dilton like runs through the door, and he's like he's freaking out, he's like scared, and he's like, we thought it was a game but it was real, and like Jughead's like, bro, what's wrong with you? Are you crazy? Like, they're obviously setting you up for the rest of the season, but like I just felt like using Dilton as the you know
what, looking back on it now, it totally makes sense because he's always been a part of their seasons.
Sure.
And he's such a distraction because he's such a minor character where like you don't expect anything from him.
Sure.
So I get it, because anyone else would have not made sense.
Yeah, that's true.
And I get that it's Dilton, and I get that it's meant to sort of distract you and like kind of shake you up and be like, what the fuck is this guy talking about, you know?
Mm-hmm. I don't know. So anyway, he says like the game is real, and then Jughead's like, who's real? And he's like, the Gargoyle King. And then Jughead's like, why don't you just take a seat? I'm gonna go to this court to see if my best friend is gonna be going to jail. I'll be right back. And then Dilton's like, true. I'll just stay right here. I don't know. It was also like a weird transition. I understand that Jughead is a little distracted, which is fair enough, but why would you even get him to talk to Dilton in that moment if you didn't think that they were going to have like a proper conversation?
Well, because it leads to him coming back home.
Yeah.
It leads to that. You know what I mean? Like,
anyways. Yeah. So then it cuts to the courthouse, and like, even though Veronica didn't do anything, she got what she wanted. She got a hung jury.
I'm like, where are you going with this? Jeez, she already got her hung jury at the fire.
And so they're like, okay, cool, like that's fine. And the DA like stands up and she's like, we're willing to let him go with these charges instead, and 2 years of juvie. And at that moment, Archie stands up and he's like, I volunteer as tribute.
His mom's like, no, like
we don't take that.
Like, chill out.
Because they're going to have to retry him, right?
Yeah, because regardless of what happens, it's going to be a mistrial, right? Because they're going to have to come back and, like, decide. Mm-hmm. And then this fucking idiot Archie decides to get up. He's like, I'm going to fucking juvie. And like, then me and JLAG were like, what did he just say? Like, what?
Like, who?
He's like, no. He's like, I accept. He's like, I'm going to go to juvie. And even the judge was like, bitch, what? And he's like, are you sure? He's like, go talk to your mom right now.
He's like, are you sure? You know what you're saying? Are you in the right state of mind to be saying this? And Archie's like, yep.
And then his mom didn't say it. Mary's so effing inconsistent. Like, she talks so much shit sometimes. And then, like, in that moment, she didn't say any. She was like, Archie. And then, like, she didn't say anything after that.
Like, punch him.
Like, take
like,
him. Like, rip his bow tie off. Like, do something. Be like, no, you're not saying that. Like, no one said shit all.
I cannot wait for you guys to tell us how you guys felt about this part of the episode, because I was very irate.
I can't wait to check Twitter and see what everyone is saying about it.
Like, what a dumb ass moment.
Like, honestly, these are the moments where I'm like, I wish the writers just found him guilty or said, yes, Archie, you're going to go to juvie for 2 years or 1 year or whatever it is. Like, that would have made more sense to me than him standing up like a freaking moron and being like, me. Take me.
I'm going.
Even Hiram was like, oh shit, like, what an idiot.
Even Hiram was like, what? He's like, you want to go to jail?
He's like, girl, that was so easy.
Like, cool. Like, actually, it's so stupid. Like, it's actually, like, thinking about it again, stupid. Like, an hour later into it, like, what a dumbass. Like, that's the thing. Like, season after season after season, Archie ends up doing something so stupid. No wonder he's in jail. Like, literally, no wonder he's in jail. Seriously. I have no sympathy for his character at all. I do feel bad for everybody else that has to deal with his fucking sorry ass, but, like, it just was very annoying to see him get to that point because of that. So anyway, whatever. He's in jail now, or he's about to go to jail, and then it cuts to Molly and Fred, and they're in the Andrews residence, and Molly's like, y'all, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna start, like, putting the papers in for an appeal right now. Let's figure this out. And randomly Sheriff Keller and FP are, like, in the living room, and they're like, don't worry, girl, we got you, we're gonna figure this out too. So I guess, like, FP, Sheriff Keller, and Fred are gonna, like,
Destiny's Child. like that, you know, like, trio doing good in the world.
Like the Three Musketeers, like whatever. So I guess we're gonna expect, like, the daddies to come through.
It's gonna be the daddy group.
Hot daddies to the rescue.
Hot Riverdale daddies
to the rescue. Then it cuts to Veronica and Hiram, and this is a pretty powerful moment too. So she's like, are you happy now, daddy? Like my boyfriend's in jail now. You got what you wanted. Like, and
we make Veronica sound so funny.
But real talk, that's basically what she says. And
do you like her acting?
Yes.
You like it?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I think she's great.
Yeah.
I think that they're all, you know, like, young actors, if I can say that. I think they all have room to grow for sure, but I think that they bring a lot to the table. Especially this is her first role. To take that in. Like,
for sure. No, for sure.
Camila Mendes
and I'm not doubting their acting at all. It's funny though that I noticed this because I rewatch it a couple of times, right? Yeah. Like, even past seasons, I feel like the beginning episodes they sound a little rusty. Like, they sound
like they're new,
a little cheesy.
Sure.
But then by the end of the middle and the end, like, they're back to who they are. Like, they're back to their core characters. So I don't know if that's, like, an acting thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can prevent that. I'm not saying they're bad. I think they're amazing actors for sure. Like, Lily Reinhart freaking kills it. Kills it.
Yeah.
Even KJ, this episode was amazing.
Yeah.
But definitely, like, there was a couple moments this episode where, like, Camila was like, okay, that kind of sounds a little cheesy, but
she also gets cheesy ass lines. Like, that's her problem too.
Guess,
she gets herself put into cheesy ass moments too. So I can't really blame her acting entirely. I think it's also just, like, her situation.
Yeah. But let us know what you guys think. I'm curious to know what everyone thinks about that too.
Sure.
Because definitely I do sense that in the middle of the season they get really lit. Mm-hmm. Like, you can feel it. Like, there's an intensity in it.
Right. So she's like, yeah, are you happy now, daddy? And he says, like, because she says, like, now, like, Archie's not my boyfriend anymore. Like, are you happy? And he's like, you think this is all about Archie? This is because you betrayed me, and this is your punishment. So then he turns it around. I'm like, damn. He's like, you chose that boy over blood. And she says, like, her final line, which is like, you don't have a daughter anymore, bitch. And then she walks away. What do you think of that interaction?
Bye,
like how it all ended?
Daddy, bye. I mean, it was good. I mean, she was right. She was all in the clear, like, to do that, for sure. That's fucked up.
What do you think
like,
the repercussions...
even the moment in the beginning when she's like, stop doing this. I know what you're doing. Like, just go back on your word. Like, just fix it. He's like, no, I'm not going to fix it.
What do you think this is going to mean for their future? And, like, the fact that they're both not backing down,
I think they're pretty fucked up at this point.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's going to be a while until they're back to, like, daddy.
Do you think this could end in death?
No.
No?
No.
I really fear for Hiram's life.
I think it can. I think it can. I don't think they'll kill Hiram off at this point.
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
I don't know, guys. I'm booking it. Episode 1.
Really?
I really feel like they might be leading him down a path of no return. Like, you sent her boyfriend to jail.
I mean, no, it's messed up. You
have no redemption. Your daughter effing hates you. You're the enemy of the entire town.
Look, at the same time, every single season has been one of the dads going down.
It's true. That's what I'm trying to say.
First season is Clifford. Second season was Hal. Third season can be Hiram. I mean,
I think I'm going to call it.
I love you, but I don't want you to see you go.
Yeah, me neither.
Can you please stay?
Stay with us. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
I don't know.
So then it cuts to Jughead getting home, and he sees that Dilton's like dipped, obviously, and he sees this map that's been rolled up on his table, and he opens it up, and it's a drawing of the Gargoyle King on the back, and it looks really creepy. And then he opens it up completely, and he looks and he realizes that it's a map that like leads to this sketchy area. And then he holds the map to the
map of Riverdale,
the map that he has on his wall, and he matches it up, and he realizes that the area that's like X marks the spot is in like the woods in some like next level area. So then he's like, he grabs his keys and he dips. Then it cuts to Archie on the bus, like going past the what's it called, the county line, and he's heading to jail in his bow tie and everything. And then it cuts to Jughead going to the woods, and he sees like 2 bodies in front of this like statue of the Gargoyle King, and they're like not moving, they're motionless. And he sees Dilton. He's like, Dilton, are you okay? He's not moving. And then he sees another body on the side, and he's like, Ben? And I'm like, you know Ben, first of all.
Yeah.
And this is Ben, like the ice cream shop
like
guy.
Grundy Ben. Yeah.
And like he's like foaming at the mouth, and Jughead's like, somebody help us. What did you think of that moment?
Oh, that was really messed up. This is the moment where like, this is what I mean. Like, this is what sets off that moment where like Lily was like, the last 2 minutes is fucked up.
Yeah,
like,
for
sure.
Yeah.
Like, we've never seen this Riverdale before. It was weird.
It's dark. It's like kids dying.
It was weird. Yeah.
It's like very. I mean, Midge died, but R.I.P.
But that was like a very straightforward. Like, this is a serial killer. He killed her. Death. This is like, I don't know what these kids are doing right now.
Yeah, like they're sacrificing. It looks like some weird sacrifice / like magic. There's like markings etched into their back. Like, it's very sketchy. I'm sure we're gonna see how it all like pans out as the season goes on, but it's very, very, very dark as a season finale, like, you know, season premiere episode. And we still don't know if Dilton's like RIP'd yet, so we'll see. Then it cuts to the Cooper residence, and there's like whispering, and this is what we saw in the Comic-Con trailer, where she's coming down the stairs, and then she sees in the backyard that
like a ritual happening.
This ritual is happening, and the babies are out there, and her mom and sister are out there. They're holding the babies, and in this scene we see the rest of it, and they drop the babies into the fire, but then they like jump back out of the fire, and then as she's watching them like kind of float, she faints, and then she starts to convulse. Yeah. And Alice and Polly like run over to her and watch her convulse, and it was really scary.
It was
like
weird.
It was actually terrifying because like NB, like you thought it was a
I'm thinking it's a dream sequence. Not a dream. Yeah, a dream sequence.
But like
I'm wondering if it's something to do with her Adderall, and that she's off of it now. It's somehow like she's like creating these like, I don't know.
She's like hallucinating or whatever. Yeah. Or she's like going through withdrawals or something. Yeah. That's fair. But like, I think that just seeing Betty Cooper / Lily Reinhardt convulse like just made me feel really uneasy, which is why I didn't think that it was a dream, because I'm like, why would you put an actor through that kind of trauma, you know? Like, I don't know. I just thought it was really sketchy.
I just found it weird that the whole ritual thing, like, that's weird.
Yeah, for
like,
sure.
Why would that be real?
Yeah, that's fair. I don't know.
I don't know. We'll see you next episode.
So then that's how the episode ends.
Yeah.
That's it, guys.
That's it.
What the fuck?
It was a lot.
Yeah. Crazy episode. Brand new episode.
Thank you for sticking around if you're still hearing us right now.
Yeah, for sure. Let's get into it. Let's get into our recap roundups.
Recap roundups.
Best moment. My best moment was the pool party. I'm always down for the party times, and like them not being so effing serious, and just seeing them all together, enjoying. Well, not really enjoying because half of them were like Debbie Downers, but it was cool.
I'm gonna say my best moment has to do with the campfire scene. I think that was really, really cute. It was like the end of summer. It's something that we haven't seen from Riverdale just yet, and I just love the setting that they set us all up in the season, how it all started. And it's just sad. It was a sad moment. I think that Archie was really beating up on himself real hard this episode.
He was.
And seeing him kind of go through it was pretty powerful, and seeing how the kids are going to be affected by it was really sad. They're going to their junior year.
Yeah.
So for them not to like just be in a high school, like we're like excited to see them in high school. Like it doesn't look like that's going to happen this season. So we'll see how it all goes. But yeah, it was definitely a good episode.
For my OC fans, that moment was such an OC moment. Like, do you remember that episode when they went to like Catalina Island and it was like Seth and Summer and Marissa and Ryan, they sat by the fire? Like, it totally reminded me of that.
Very much those vibes.
Totally reminded me of that. Yeah, it was super cute.
WTF moment.
My WTF moment was his confession at the end. I was like, I think I literally like jumped back. I was like, what the is he doing? What an idiot.
For sure.
What an idiot. Not that the fact that like I thought he was going to be guilty, because I definitely thought the judge would deem him guilty, but I kind of wanted it from the judge, not from this idiot standing up and saying like, yeah, I'm gonna go to jury. Like, it was so like stupid. Shocking.
I don't know, it didn't make any sense to me.
I don't know.
I understand why they're like putting it there, but it just didn't make any sense in terms of how they got there. My WTF moment is probably going to go to the last 2 minutes of the episode, with not only the Gargoyle King and the 2 sacrificial lambs of Ben and Dilton, but also of the scene with Betty and her mom and Polly. Like, I just thought that scene was really creepy too. I was like, what the F is happening? I really hope that like Betty's okay. I know that sounds stupid, but I'm really worried about the girl. So yeah, that was my WTF moment for sure.
MVP. My MVP is going to go to Alice. And not the fact that like, I don't know, it was hard. It was hard thinking of an MVP this episode for sure.
Because everybody sucked.
Because everyone kind of sucked.
Yeah.
But Alice, I just want to know what the F is going on in that dream sequence. If it is a dream sequence, I don't know.
Right.
I don't know.
We'll see.
It was hard.
We'll see.
But
she was being a really supportive mom, which was great.
I mean,
for the most part.
I mean, look, if she was supportive in her old self, fine. But she was like supportive in her like crystal ball, like, I'm gonna help you because I know Edgar self. So that was kind of weird.
That's fair.
But yeah, I don't know.
My MVP is going to go to, I think I'm going to give it to Jughead. I think that even though he didn't really do too much, I mean, he was. He saved his dog. He's starting to uncover the new mystery of Riverdale, and I'm sure that's going to play into part, even though he kind of sucked as a boyfriend and didn't realize his girlfriend was on Adderall all summer. I think that like it was he's a pretty good character. He didn't do anything wrong. Like if that.
No, I feel like he's the only MVP.
Yeah, really, realistically. Who's your LVP?
Say yours first, because I feel like mine makes sense after yours.
My LVP is gonna go to Kevin Keller, because I just think that he was a big effing loser this episode. I want to use this as a moment, an opportunity to call out the writers and say, do better, be better for Kevin Keller, because I'm just not having it this season at all.
Yeah, no, I agree.
What about you?
I thought you were gonna say Archie. So mine made more sense.
Yeah.
Now
you go.
Mine was Veronica.
Sure.
Just because I felt like she was battling against nothing at this point. She thought she was smart and sly, and her dad knew her moves. And I don't know. Like, I don't know if her vying for Varchi is really her go-to path for this season. He's got to win his own battles, and maybe she's got to win her own battles.
Yeah.
And then,
100%.
They'll come together.
We'll see.
End.
Or
but
not.
But veggies for sure. Veggie, vegetables and dip is gonna have some fun this season.
We'll see.
The best line. My best line was Hermione and Veronica, and when Hermione was like, I don't know the exact words, but she was like, I won't leave you in a world with him alone. Like, I'm not gonna leave you alone here with him. And it was such a fucked up line, because I think last season we got this really amazing dynamic between the three of them, where like, yeah, he was evil, she was a little evil too, but it's okay, like they're a family, like they'll work it out, they'll fight through it. But her saying that, like, I'm never gonna leave you alone in a world with your dad, is like really messed up. That's pretty messed up. It's like, I do not trust him with your life. Like, I'm not gonna be here without you, because like he can fuck you over too. Yeah, for sure. And I just didn't really understand where that came from. Like, it was kind of, I do understand where it came from. But I get it, but like, we just started off the season. Like, this is a fresh new season. Like, geez, sure. Like, it was really deep.
My best line, just jumping off of that, is Veronica saying it to Hiram, saying, you don't have a daughter anymore. Because I think that was really powerful. She does say it a few times. I feel like she said it last season too. I just want this to stick. Like, I literally want her to move out. Yeah,
because even I looked at JLAG, I was like, oh, she's still with them. Like, she's still living with them. Yeah. Which was a little surprising. Cause
like, is she going to get emancipated like Cheryl? Like, I don't know what's going to happen at this point.
Like, moving with Archie.
I really do feel like she's like completely lost respect for her dad. She hates him. She doesn't just not like him. She hates him. And I think she's going to do whatever it takes to get Archie out of jail, even if that means like totally screwing her dad over. Which I don't think that I could say about her before. So it'll be a very interesting season. I'm really excited to see how things go.
I'm excited.
Guys, we're back. We are back. Oh my gosh. What an episode.
Yeah.
I hope you guys stuck around, and I hope you guys enjoyed our podcast.
Let us know what you guys think, because a lot of this time, like, we kind of go off of what you guys think about these podcasts, and
we take your feedback, and
if you guys like even the length of it, if it's too long, if it's too short, if we're not covering off what you guys think we should cover off, let us know in the comments below. We're on YouTube, we're on Spotify, we're on freaking iTunes, we're on Twitter. Make sure you check up all on our platforms and see, you know, what the newest link is that we're updating.
The new
for sure. But we're out here. Like,
we're out here. Make sure you guys keep an eye out for what we're doing for Sabrina. We mentioned in a few other podcasts, but we're planning a watch party. We're going to do a live discussion and a live tweet, hopefully, if everything goes okay. So we'll keep you posted with that kind of information very soon. We're super excited about that show too.
Let's let them know. Like, we're thinking, guys, Friday, October 26th, when the show gets a release on Netflix.
Yes.
We're going to have a watch party. If that works for you guys, Friday, October 26th or Sunday, October 28th. Let us know in the comments which date you guys would prefer, because we want to watch it with you guys. Right now, Friday's winning. So we're down for it. Like, I got my candy ready. So let us know in the comments below, like, what date you guys prefer to binge this. We're thinking, you know, watch the first first 3 episodes at least, just to kind of gauge it.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah,
we'll see how it goes. But things are changing here at Recap Rewind for this season, so just be ready for all of our changes.
Are we back for real?
And our new things. Yeah, we are totally
are we back. Are we back right now?
Totally back.
We're
this is real.
This is real
We're
life?
Alive.
This is not a dream sequence?
Yeah, this is not a dream sequence.
Alice is still not hiding baby over the fire?
No.
Yeah?
Not at all. I'm so excited.
This is so exciting.
Thank you guys so much for listening. Make sure you guys stay connected. We are on iTunes and Spotify and Google Play. We're like literally everywhere. So make sure you guys are connecting with us as much as you can, because we love you. And this is the only y'all are the only reason why we be doing this though. So stay tuned. Thanks for listening.
Bye.